What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining us back for another video. This is Dixie's Dollars, and this channel is all about budgeting, journeying to being debt-free, saving up for sinking funds. So if this is the channel for you, you can go ahead, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We do upload weekly, so we would love to have you guys join us. So for today's video, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a harder video. So we are doing a 2023 debt confession. And I say that because I did a little bit of one back in 2022, but it wasn't like super in depth. I think I just like touched on it. But we have been able to pay quite a bit towards our debt. So I wanted to do just a video where I'm upfront and honest about everything, our goals, how we're gonna pay it off. And then hopefully be able to look back in a few months or maybe even a year and see how much we were able to pay off. So that is the goal for today. When you see this number, hopefully you guys aren't super judgmental about it. I mean, most of this debt that we have was due to us either being irresponsible when we first got credit cards, which is around like our college age. That's when I got my first credit card. And then some of it was we actually did put quite a bit of our wedding expenses on a credit card. So, which is why we should have just eloped, but that's another story. Anyways, so we are going to just jump right into it. And obviously all of these expenses are completely on us. There's no reason really why we should be in debt, but that's the whole goal of this channel, is to stay consistent in paying that off, staying consistent in a budget, sticking strong to it. So I've seen like a few other people do like a 2023 debt confession, and I've seen very similar numbers to me. So it doesn't make me feel as bad, but being in debt is a very big stress. I mean, there are sometimes when I'm so stressed out by the number that we have that I like budgeting or going through it makes me like super anxious. But I know at the end of the day that we're taking all the necessary steps to get there. So that's the motivation that helps us keep going. Plus we have really big goals set for when we're out of debt. So in total, our goal is to be out of debt this year. That might be a bigger goal that I'm setting for ourselves, because we really only started probably like really hitting our debt October of last year. I mean, we've been doing like our regular payments, but like putting extra, nailing down one credit card, I think we only really started in October of last year. So we haven't really even been at it for a year, but I know that if we just stick strong to our budget, then we should be able to. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I have my iPad with me, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably put like a screen recording right here just because it's a little bit easier than, I think it's more personable if you guys can see me and we can like, it's almost like we're talking with each other, and then you can just see what I'm doing right here. So I am going to get this all set up here. I'm just in the process of trying to pull it up. Okay, so what you're gonna see here is just a blank state of our debt. There's nothing written on it. You're gonna see type of debt here. We have a few different credit cards. I know we have a car loan that's on there. We did have some medical debt, but that's been paid off. So I didn't even add it to our debt for today. You're gonna see the amount, the limit, because we have quite a few credit cards that are pretty close to the limit. And then the percentage rate. And I'll kind of go over that a little bit more in depth, the percentage rate, because I did see some other budgeters based off of the percentage rate get their debt down to a certain number as a whole with all their other debts, and then hit the one with the highest percentage. So I don't know how we're going to do it. I think we're just going to kind of go about it today and see what we come up with, so to say. So for this first one, type of debt was the first financial credit card. The amount was $550 left on it. We did, I think the limit was $5,000, and I want to say we had about $2,900 on this credit card. This was one of the ones that we had used for our wedding just entirely. Weddings are expensive, and when I was getting quotes back from, you know, photographers, videographers, florists, venues, different things like that, I was just blown away by the number. And I get it. I mean, these are like small businesses that, you know, charge quite a bit because of the amount of work that they put in. So I'm not dogging on them for that, but when my husband and I got engaged, I just was not aware of how expensive weddings actually were. And so I was trying to be like, let's just elope. Let's just spend as little much as possible and go. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we had the wedding. I mean, we had a really good time. There was a lot of people there that were supporting us. So I look back and I love those memories, but still, a lot of this debt that you're gonna see is from the wedding, and I hate that. I hate that. My advice to like anybody is don't do what I did. I mean, we were still super frugal in everything that we did. We tried to find like cheaper ways to do things. We did a lot of DIYs. My bridesmaids helped out a lot. But honestly, like getting married kind of right after COVID was relaxing. I think a lot of the prices were amped up more because of during the COVID season, they lost out a bit. So it just was not the best time to get married. So we were able to get this credit card down to $550, and then the limit of it was $5,000, and there was a 0% rate on that. So that was amazing. And the reason why this is crossed off is because we literally just paid this off. So we, I forgot what date it was. I think it was on the 31st that we paid this credit card completely off. So like that, whew, that's another stressor off. That's one less credit card that we're down. So moving on to our second debt, we've got a Chase Freedom Unlimited card. We have about $709 on there, and the credit limit was $1,500. Now I will say this was pretty close to the limit for a while there, and it wasn't like we were using it. I think it's just like, you know, with interest rates and, you know, interest fees and extra charges that get put in, it just bumped it up because we weren't really using this credit card for anything. And obviously you can see the percentage rate of this one is pretty high. So it's at 27%, which most of my credit cards are at around that percentage rate. So I don't know if that's the normal rate for people or if that's just because of maybe my credit. My credit's actually not that bad. It was between like the 700 and 800s for a while, and I think it's right under 700 right now. So I just don't think I have good luck with credit cards. So this one is $709, credit limit's $1,500, and percentage rate is 27. This one is, you know, I'll go through all the credit cards and what debt we have and kind of figure out maybe which one is next. Because even though that's the second lowest amount, I might do it by the percentage rates. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe you guys can give me some insight or some advice on what you did and what worked for you. Our next one is a Jared credit card that we opened up. This one was also for the wedding. So we have about $3,400 on this one, and the credit limit, I believe, is $4,000. I'm not quite sure on that, but I want to say it's $4,000. We couldn't really like find it on the account. And the percentage rate for this is 29%. So that one's obviously very high. We don't use this at all. I think it was like just a few purchases that we used for the wedding and then just didn't touch it. Like we haven't touched it at all. So there's that one. Our next one is a Wells Fargo credit card. This one was my personal one. And honestly, these were a lot of mistakes from college. I didn't buy anything with the wedding on this. I don't think we've touched this in I don't know how long. This is mainly just from my college experience. And I was in college from 2018 till about 2021, I would say. And I just was super irresponsible and ended up using a lot of this for that. So my credit limit recently did just increase. It was actually $3,500. So you can see the $3,600. So that would have been a pretty close amount, but it did just increase to $6,000. And then the percentage rate for this one's a little bit lower, 18.4%. So when I saw that credit limit, I was like, yes, thank you. I think both my husband and I have 100% payment history on our credit. So that's probably why like I keep getting increases on my credit, and it's a blessing in disguise because like I'm glad that I have more on there where they're not so close, but then there's also that temptation of wanting to use it, which all my credit cards are turned off. So even if I were to go out and try to use it, and I leave my credit cards at home on purpose, I can't really use it. But still, like, you know, there's always that temptation that, oh, there's still like a ton of extra money on here, let's use it for this. Moving on, we actually have 2 Southwest credit cards. This first one has about $3,600 and the credit limit's $3,900. So that one's pretty close. And the percentage rate's about 27%. So that one is definitely getting up there. I want to say that this one is my credit card. I can't quite remember, but that one is getting up pretty high. And moving on to our second Southwest credit card. This one is $4,456 and the credit limit's $4,500. So that's not fun. And I think what's been going on with this one is that we've been, you know, paying the minimum payment and a little bit extra, but with the interest payment bumping it back up, it's just like a game of like staying consistently at that number. And then the percentage rate for that one is 24%. So when I see numbers like that, I'm like, maybe we should pay that one down faster because it's so close to the limit, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Moving on to our Amex. This is our highest one because this is really one that we just opened up for the wedding. It's got $6,900 on it, which we paid that down quite a bit because I think it used to have $8,000, but it's at $6,900 and it was around like $7,500 because the limit is $8,000. But yeah, that one is a pretty high amount. And I don't think there's an interest rate on here. We tried looking it up, but we literally could not find an interest rate anywhere. It didn't say anything. Actually, you know what? There is no interest rate. I think there was an interest rate of 0% for 1 year or 18 months from when we opened it. And we got married last year in April. So I think we're probably coming up closer to the 12 months and 18 months when the interest rate will kick in. For the car loan, so like I'm a little bit back and forth on the car loan with putting it on here because we did just open it up last year, I think in August, and it's a ridiculous amount. We had searched for months and months and months for a car, and my first car that I got paid it all in cash. So this was my first time financing a car, and we had searched and searched and searched and just like could not find a decent car in this market. Like, it was a horrible time to buy a car, but you know, we did what we had to do. So we ended up taking a car loan. The original amount was $22,237, and that's how much we've paid on it so far. Unfortunately, the interest rate is so high. It's 13%, and I hate that. That's probably because of my credit card. But we do have the opportunity to refinance that upcoming. So I think we're probably going to do that and shoot for a much lower interest rate. My husband, when he financed his car, I think his interest rate was at like 1%, and mine's at 13%. So that's an immense difference, or an immense amount that's different. So we are hopefully going to try to get that down. So in total, with our credit cards and the car loan, I believe we have about $15,581 in debt. Well, actually, that's not including our car loan. That's the total credit card debt, because that's what we're trying to hit first, is all of our credit card debt. And then we'll do the car loan eventually. So that is our 2023 debt confession. Now, I'm very tempted to just start by paying off the next credit card, which is the Chase Freedom one. That's $709. And I think we could just get that paid off and leave it. But I'm also torn. Maybe we should, because I know that Dave Ramsey method is just from the smallest amount to the largest amount. But some of these interest rates are so high, and some of them are so close to their credit limits. So my husband and I are a little bit back and forth on it. We're like, oh, we don't know which one we should start off with next. So I guess I'm just kind of like throwing it out there for suggestions. If you guys know of any ideas on maybe how we could tackle it, because you guys are so smart. You guys watch a million other channels, and I feel like we've all been through these circumstances, whether it's being in debt or something comes up and we're a little bit behind on payments. So I think I'll probably just listen to what you guys and hear what you have to say. and to go from there. Hopefully you guys are not seeing that amount and being like, whoa, that's crazy. But you know, I think with due diligence and sticking hard to our budget that we can totally accomplish this. And you know, unfortunately, the thing with being in debt is that it takes away so much. I mean, we are putting an immense amount of money each paycheck towards our debt, and I just cannot wait for the freedom of having that extra money and being able to invest or to give or to open up more accounts where we can save and gain interest on that. Like, there's just so many things that we could be doing with that extra money, but unfortunately we aren't right now. So I almost feel like we're tied down by this debt, and that's what debt does. It looks great in the beginning having a credit card, and then all of this is not fun. So anyways, that is it for this video. I just wanted to be upfront and super honest with everyone here, and honestly, having this channel has been a huge accountability for me. Like, I haven't really had the desire to post or to really make videos the last probably week or so, just because that can be so overwhelming, and just the consistency in this, sometimes it can be overwhelming. And when we're traveling or we're not here and we don't get to do it, I almost feel like we're getting a little bit behind. So there's a little bit of pressure with it, but at the same time, I was telling my husband, like, you know, the interaction that I have with you guys in the comments and going through like similar walks of life and in this journey, it's super encouraging, and to be able to relate to somebody else and to show you guys my journey and also to see your journey. So all that to say, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. We have a cash stuffing coming up, I believe this Sunday. It's going to be the first paycheck of February, and I'm within the same location, but I'm starting a new job soon, and my paychecks are going to be bi-weekly, and my husband gets paid bi-weekly as well. So I think we're going to have to switch it up, where possibly we just take half of that amount and do a weekly stuffing, because I actually like doing the weekly stuffings. I don't like the whole bi-weekly. I feel like you don't manage your money as well as you could doing it weekly. So we'll see about that. We'll kind of play that by ear. That's not for another few more weeks. Anyways, thanks so much for joining, guys, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.